Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You have set your priorities absolutely correctly for this wonderful Sunday evening, this spring Sunday evening, because not only the temperature, at least here in Germany, was pretty high. No, there's also a high skill level on this. No, never mind. There are also highly contested spots, obviously, on this game tonight, because the action is heating up again as we are in our week 3, obviously, but we also have a second game tonight, which will be week 2, interestingly, but we'll get to that later. So currently we have interesting matchup actually on CP Steel on our hands. That is Lucrosa against Feila eSports. With me tonight again, as always, carrying this production and the camera, obviously, which is very I would say heavy camera, I don't know. It is Wiethoofd on the production, and we are pleased to announce a new face, or better yet, a new voice to this kind of fray, which will be Georgebaii as the co-caster for tonight. Good evening, man.
Good evening.
What do you think? Which team will steal the most points? Who is your prediction for tonight?
Looks like an interesting matchup tonight. I mean, both of these teams pretty close in the table. There's only like 3 points between them coming into this map, which is Steel, of course. So the minimum you can get is at least 2 points, I guess, because of the rounds that they're in. But yeah, a lot of interesting faces on both teams here. I mean, if you could run down the rosters, I guess we can make some comparisons.
Well, as I was saying, just go for roster, and whichever roster you pick, which is not Lucrosa, this is how much option I give you, is the one that you're picking and the one that you're going down, because they already have their players in. So very uncommon for Highlander, but there you go. Just show us the Feila roster, I'd say.
Highlander Untimed, this is sorcery. Anyway, so on the side of Lucrosa, Feila, we got Jinxie on Scout, Mentalix on Soldier. Actually, I won't even have time. I think we're going already.
That's fine. We still have like 60 seconds to go.
Okay. Anyway, so it's going. That kind of time to put me off. We got Jinxie on Scout. We got Mentalix on Soldier. T-Time on Pyro. Joey and UFC on Demoman. Bloodist on Heavy. Spamfest on Engineer. Layla on the Medic. Kazarok on Sniper. And Adjay on the Spy.
There we go, good stuff. Complete weak flank, that's the first thing I notice. I'm not feeling comfortable with that one. To be quite fair though, I'm not technically biased, I'm not biased, but I'm actually on the Lucrosa roster, but only as a sub, so I can see how much I deserve to be that. Anyway, on the Lucrosa roster we actually have Merking, this should be at least. On the Scout class we have Viljak, I don't know, people maybe know him from playing Spy or something, but he's just absolutely pounding players on Scout. He's just incredible hit scan. Then Kazuki, Irish superstar on the Soldier class. Crayon, maybe his performance will be as sharp as always, hopefully. On Pyro, useless class, but still. Nos on Demo, oh shit, it's Nuss, which is obviously Kronk on the Heavy class. Interesting, by the way, currently Spamfest and Viljak on A just kind of threw me off there. Ramusor on NG, Grabber on Medic, Blessed on Sniper, and Trooper on Spy. As this is Steel, so nothing is happening for the next 30 seconds. It's just people go down on B, I guess.
Interesting though, but like the gun's already gone down already on the side of Lucrosa right now, so they're going to go essentially help the speed push. A just about getting catch right now by Spamfest and T-Time, I believe. Might see some potential perhaps with some sort of E setup perhaps with Spamfest over there. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be settling down. Rambo's going to build another sentry, probably in time for the Super. Although I don't think Layla want to raid around. They want to play this balcony. Jinxie's going to bonk in and take some of the attention away while Joe spams the gun. It goes down instantly. Uber's still not popped yet, I believe, on both sides. But eventually, the denial from Kronk getting a bunch of kills right there. 3, 4 kills, 5 kills. What a nice cleanup there from Kronk, getting all those frags
I like the fact that literally the Grabber, no wait, that Grabber he only used because he probably got scared because his Demoman got backstabbed. I was a bit confused and off-taken because if you look at A, Viljak is still there. He literally sat on the roof and like literally on A 30 seconds or like a minute at least, and people were just shooting him. So interestingly enough, but now Best goes down, really early pick, really important as well. They're just all on the way scared out here. I don't know, and Peace on onto Nos. They should try to force this, honestly, but they're just giving this up for free, which is kind of putting Feila in a really good seat. As they are using, I don't agree with with this as they're using under level 1. I guess they got it and they got Crayon, but well, they're taking the ground right now, so they should be able to do something.
T-Time's to win. He's going to get Grabber and Rambo as well. 2 kills from T-Time, very deep in, but still manages to pay off there.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know, Pyro overpowered class anyway. This is a bit scrappy. Well, I said scrappy, it's absolutely terrible how Lucrosa played this. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Currently, they just let Feila settle in this connector and actually take control of everything because Menti is on the top and, well, he's not really getting spammed. They're not denying this. They're probably waiting for their response, but they don't have so much time. They have 70% advantage on Feila, and there goes Kazuki. Like, what can they do here, honestly?
Yeah, Kazuki there hoping to get some sort of purchase with the Conjurer there, trying to get some sort of speed boost, but eventually he's going to get picked off by the spam, I think, from the Demoman, and now Feila looking likely to try and keep the split cap going on. They've got the intention on E now, and while they're capping C, so this is normally what you expect. You split the attention away, and then the team has to decide whether to commit or not. As we've got a lot of the Lucrosa players actually set up in this into lobby, as the rest of the Feila games come through Beck right now, trying to recontest E.
Yeah, they're just kind of waiting here to get the even Ubers, I would say, but they probably, like, they have to, there we go. Layla got forced to something, probably Joe screaming at 200 decibel, which is very understandable, but they actually get frags with that here in the lobby, and literally everybody dies, and Grubber only Ubers on someone who got tobacco under his upper lip and can't actually main call, but they're not actually trapped in, and they all die, and it's only Grubber. This is an absolute disaster, and he's probably going to get out because he's just OP, I would say. No, Grabber, go into spawn. Hey, he's getting cut off. No, can he escape? He's a literal god.
Oh, the mask sticky cleaner.
The dream.
Feels bad, man. One player up on the side of the Crows. They're going to get the spawn waves in, but like Feila just have so much positional advantage right now, and the cap time I need to play with. They could just walk into this final cap right now, unless a miracle happens. A lot of spam coming into the spawn areas. The Crows are trying to get some sort of potential in onto deck, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a cap, I think, for Feila. And a very fast time, I have to say, of 3 minutes 44 seconds, which is pretty quick for Steel.
Yeah, it was horrible to watch, honestly, from a defensive point of view, because they just got overwhelmed by they got forced there on B, as you pointed out, and then they literally just gave this up without contention, without using any Uber. Then they kind of used Uber, I don't know, I would say without a reason there on Feila, but they still got the frags with the Pyro because overpowered class, and then after that they kind of just split their attention on A, on C and E, and I don't know actually if Grubber like had the Uber deficit there, and like I think he was like 5%, like this was a 5% difference kind of, you know, like the entire team died and then he just got Uber and he only had Kronk to Uber, and so that was kind of garbage. But now we'll have to see, because such a fast time, as you said, and how you basically have to do this is either AE or you go for a like AE fake drop down push, but we'll see. It's kind of hard for them really to make something work, but yeah, let's see what they can do.
Yeah, Feila looks like they're going for some sort of hold here onto this B point, trying to like deny any sort of space for the Lucrosa to make. And like you said, the Lucrosa need to think about probably going for an A to E push, considering the time. We're going to see Tuber set up on the B lines, trying to see if he gets some sort of early pick. And he's going to get a pick onto Kaza actually, which will open up a bit of space, but while the team's capping A, it's going to be generally downtime until we get to this B fight, or potentially they go straight to lobby and start pushing through there. And actually I think Grabber's going on to A, so it looks like we're going to see an A to E push, or potentially a drop down sort of situation. Good point actually, because I mean, it's not really at that time if you capture A, but since they all went A, like there was no suicide on B, you could already see that they're probably committing to this drop down push or to this E push, as you pointed out. But like, I mean, Layla and Joe, they've played this game for like 2 billion seasons or something. They know this, and Kronk doesn't actually realize this. They just were so quick with the rotation. But let's see if they actually. I think they're going for this drop down push. Yeah, there they go. Yeah, probably just a little bit of bait to try and sort of shift players away from the.
I think they're not sure either what they're wanting to push. Okay, now they're going in again.
Crayon getting a reflex pick onto JJ.
Now on Menti as well, that's huge. Like, so, see, there you go. The flank dying before that Joe goes down. Layla has absolutely no idea who to use on, so she uses on a Pyro. He can air blast them off here, but they have the better position, and Kaza actually goes down, so they have seen, like, now it's actually Swift's also reflect there onto Trooper, but they're kind of denying them, but interesting. First pit kill.
Yeah. I'd be a potential chance here for the Lucrosa, but as I say, a lot of their players go down. They had like a good setup there, but eventually the spawn waves came in for the side of Feila. They managed to deny that cap pretty easily. So we're going to come down to the 2-minute mark already on this steel map for this first round. Jinxie trying to get in the back lines, trying to get onto, I think it was later, but no, grabber even, but doesn't get the kill. And in the meantime, the crews are going to be scrambling to try and get some sort of purchase because they're running out of options.
Well, they still have more than enough time. I don't know, like this split in the combo really doesn't happen. Grabber is basically alone with Crayon and a connector, and they have absolutely no idea what to do currently. They could have made that, I don't know, positional disadvantage actually make work for them. Now they're on B. I'm not sure if they actually have the time to cap. They have to be really fast. They have to go like, when it hits like 1 minute. They do have, okay, it's equal Ubers, so George, let's see if they can actually play around positional advantages this time.
You've got Kazo, I think, into one of the spots. He's going to switch to away from into bats, as the rest of the Lucrosa players trying to gather up into Beck now, trying to get some sort of ground into the E point. Still no ramps out, so it's difficult to get them to this point. You're going to have to rely on your scout and the soldier to make the space. But Philjack goes down, that's like already -2 on your point potential. We come up to the last minute. Kronk's going to try and get some sort of purchase onto Jinxie there, but running out of time right now. 50 seconds left. It got Ajay behind trying to get purchase onto the tip combo, but goes down to Kronk.
Ninja didn't have time. They're just doing that. They have way, like they had enough time. Now it's kind of getting cringe there. Gets forced really weak there.
So much flashes though. It's going to fake really soon.
That doesn't matter anymore because they didn't get cap time with that, interestingly, and Wiljack also fell down. I don't know why Wiljack is kind of not focused on the point or something, seeing as the top Prem person you might have expected that, but now the conch comes in and now it's basically lock cleaning time, which means, yeah, locks are useless, and let's make them even more useless with exactly doing that. They already say good round, or grr, as people say when they are angry, but wow, that was very, I don't want to say anticlimactic. Chu was actually on the point, very interesting, yeah, die. There you go. But yeah, very interesting, I would say anticlimactic first round, because I don't know, it was a bit all over the place. I don't give Lucrosa, like I would say Lucrosa screwed up there too much. I wouldn't say like the Feila push was pinpoint perfect, it was more like defending team. But yeah, useless numbers. I don't like them. You can introduce them. Let's talk me through this. Let's sugarcoat this game, George. Let's say how amazing these players are, judging from literally just numbers. Yeah, let's have a look at these numbers right now. Only 2 people getting onto double digits, which was Joe and Kronk. Not actually top damaging over Joe though, despite this the very fast-paced game, I have to say. Kaz are getting a lot more headshots though than Bez though, 11 compared to Bez's 5. But yeah, it was mostly about the positional game rather than the frags, really. Yeah. Like, Lucrosa really had no answer to the fast time that Feila already set. So it went downhill from there. And I think, also I should commend really, is I think Spamfest's like Wrangler denial as well. I think he did a really good job there, denying any sort of like desperate caps coming out from Lucrosa, so just had 0 options whatsoever. Something engineer main would say. What did you main? Because talking about engineers is literally only a thing engineer mains do. Okay, you're not an undercover engineer main, I just say. Well, yeah, as you said, it's not about the quantitative, because quantitatively, actually, the first 3 players of like top 4 fragging are Lucrosa players, but in the end, they kind of lost quite decisively, so that's that. Interestingly enough, very, very interesting. Well, also, I guess Feila show a bit more that they're actually together with 7 new players, because this is what Feila does. So I don't know. This feels so anticlimactic. I thought this would be way closer, but maybe they can do something. Maybe they just got overwhelmed and then they didn't hear anything. Yeah, I guess you could say it'd be interesting for the next round to see how the Crows will come back from this, if they're going to have any sort of new strategy for their defense, or eventually they'll be on offense first. So it'd be interested to see how they change around that. They'll have their own time to like play around basically with the pushes, but already on the receiving end now, if they lose this next round, it's all over already, and Feila will get the full 6 points from this fixture, and leave the Crows with absolutely nothing. Which will be really hard to get in the playoffs, to be quite fair, I think the only redeeming factor currently I see for Lucrosa in comparison to the LAN experience is that I'm not playing medic for them, so Grabber might actually like raise his voice and say to his team, do something, calm down. Like having played with them, I know that they can get kind of vocal at times, even though I think Feila might not actually be that like less vocal, but I guess it works out if you are actually winning. But yeah, this time I think it's actually it's interesting to see, because now Lucrosa are on the offense, so they're not actually pressured by an insanely fast time, so they can make it work slow and methodically.
Yeah, they can do more of the strats they probably talked about in map talks, and generally just try and recover the situation, because like I think around like that your morale's got to be pretty low. So they'll probably have their team leader to try and pump them up a bit, try and get them into this next round and try and get some points from this fix. It'd be interesting, yeah, to see how they come out with this, whether they do the straight B push, or whether they still want to sit to their guns and try and go for the E push. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's really the showdown of the team leaders, I would say. Having played with Kronk, he gets very motivational at this current point, and you don't want to talk back, so it's probably what works. I mean, this is what worked for Joe, honestly. It's not about telling your team to shut up, it's about you being louder than everyone else, but currently they're just working this in here from B. Kazuki actually gets way up spiral there from the sneaky trap, but nobody dies your bad suicide wave. You have to die, honestly. No, but they're currently just working this in here. Nos goes down though, so nothing really happening on that front. I would like some coordination, but Chupa just gets into position right now, but Best gets the frag onto Kaza. They can make this work if they're quick here, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, obviously just waiting for this A-cap to try and get the more positional time for like the doors to open on E, give them more options to play with. Actually, Grabber's on E right now, so probably looking for another E push perhaps, or potentially drop down bait again, like last time. But Kaz has already pointed this out now, he's going to be cycling from spawn. And Ajay with 2 kills onto the Lucrosa players. There's going to be Kronk and Kazuki going down, and the Reflect coming up as well from Crayon, picking up Jinxie.
Yeah, he couldn't dodge them, probably watching anime. Oh, there Kaza with the hero shot, but doesn't actually hit it. He hit the Jarati, but I could already see how this guy on his laptop kind of want to get the hero shot, but isn't happening. Nos doesn't actually have his heals forward here, but now they're doing that. But the thing is, they need cap time with that. That's what kind of pressured them before, but there's a gun and there's everybody watching, because these players know.
Yeah, one of the bigger issues with committing for this E push is like at some point you're going to need to think about when to rotate to B and like abandon this push, or potentially split cap if you can to get this position out. But Feila just like read this like a book basically. They've got the sentry in back, watching the point. They're going to have the gamers out and spawn and just deny any sort of space Rambo's trying to make with the sentry. And he's going to be trapped up into the window area now and goes down to Menti surely with the whip as well, so add extra insult to injury. And now we're going to see Lucrosa actually coming onto this B push now with you, but you've got Grabber and Kronk and all those players trying to come up now. Kaz is in deep in the spawn as well as the cap time starts to come out. We've got Bloodis in the window area actually, which is an interesting position for a heavy, but he's going to have to back off now surely with the impending B cap coming out from Lucrosa.
Nobody was watching that rotation. I mean, it was good rotation to E, but then again nobody actually rotated back, and they literally gave that point up for kind of a full U advantage, not really exchange, which basically favors the offensive team on stuff positions like that. There is a sticky trap, and okay, Wiljack dies to that. I mean, he respawned quite quickly, and Edgy actually gets the counter stab onto Chupa. He's pulling a ISIL if someone gets that. But currently, Joe, typical Joe play, just gets aggressive, completely alone. They're kind of waiting probably for more openings and to actually get their sniper in position, because Kaz is just owning this sideline here on Connector.
Yeah, at the moment we've got Ajay in the truck area overwatching the B point. Kazuki, I guess, got completely denied by the sentry there. So it actually comes out on the side of Feila, so I don't know if that was forced or not. Weak.
Yeah, probably Kazuki, and I mean, he got killed by the sentry, I think, but there was nobody close, so she probably got taken a lot of damage there. Now they're actually on C passive. They still have the Uber on the side of Lucrosa, but the main issue is you have to cover a lot of ground into a sniper sideline. That's kind of the issue, but they're so indecisive. Like, currently they're going to E or to C, but it takes them like way too long, in my humble opinion. But Chupa also goes down, so I think they're actually committing to E here. But C, like, they're so indecisive, they're just losing players left and right all the time.
Yeah, pretty stubborn approach to this, trying to maybe get some sort of purchase onto E, but they keep tapping it occasionally, and then they're just staying in back and taking all this damage right now. Kronk's gonna have to eat a sandwich to heal up right now, as the rest of the Feila games can probably just get into position onto C and lock this down. We've already got Bloodis up top, holding on heavy, which is a normal position you'd see. Joe's laying stickies down on Beck as well, trying to contest Vit's Knoz. And Kaz are actually going to get a pick onto Crown though. This has a pyro down to the side of Pink, but the Bez gets picked as well on the side of Lucrosa.
I don't know if I think this is unfair or unfair sports to push with the full Uber, because they should have done it, but now Layla, they waited until Layla got forced and now has Uber once again. Until Tea Time died, Joe died, like everyone, so many people died, they just don't push in, they don't get any forward pressure with this, probably very undecisive. But yeah, I mean, what do you do in this situation? You commit 2 points, to what point should they commit right now?
Yeah, and all the time you're deciding to commit to these pushes or not, you're wasting time, and like that little clock's going to get bigger by the second essentially, and make it harder for you to hold it in the next round.
Yeah, you're basically playing off your future self in this current scenario. I don't know. I like Steel. It's fast rotation map, but we're not really seeing that here currently. Maybe Joe gets killed to uncalled sentry gun, but I don't think. Okay, they're trying to retake this, but Remo, no, he replaced the sentry. He could have gotten Joe as I called that, but now Tea Time actually kills the sentry gun, and they've just taken this connector again completely. Oh, Layla dies there. Goodbye. That's the old Layla back. +2. So much damage taken
just
got
from launched beyond me, and Grabber's gone as well. He gets knocked down the pit as well for the knockback.
Oh no!
So the combo down for the side of the Lucrosa. Oh dear.
Layla dropped, did Grabber pop probably, and they got blasted off by a pyro or something, right? Because, I mean, Layla took so much damage from Viljack and then died to Sticky from Nos, but now they can actually make this work, funnily enough, because you have fast respawns, and on defensive team you have like 5 hours respawns, so...
Yeah, the Crows are trying to pin down this dual cap now, it was their original plan, but it just takes way too long to execute it, but now it's going to be into effect. We've got Knoz holding the forward spawn now from Feila, so they're going to be forced to divert potentially into bats with this dual cap going on. There's actually quite a lot of tap time going on to E point, so the Crows can probably commit to this if they wanted to, but now Tube is going to have the C point as well. The ramps are going to open up, it gives more space for your team to potentially go for this E cap. There seems to be a lot of frags going inside of Feila at the moment. You've got Noz going down, so that's no Demo Man from the side of the Lucrosa, as it's slightly Uber advantage as well onto the side of Grabber. And they're just going to keep tapping this point. Viljack goes down, so that's going to deny that sort of cap time on there. And it's just going to be general spam back and forth between Beck and Bats.
They're just waiting for their pick classes to do something. They're not actually trying to take positional advantage to pressure them out. This was all on Viljack, but Viljack can't do anything against 9 players. Best goes down to Kazo there, so just superior sideline again. Jarati comes in. They need to move in, like they still have this Uber. Layla just gets now, and they were... Oh, Joe goes down though from Kronk, so now actually they get the decap, but I mean they do this methodically. I think they could have done this better though as the Uber exchange comes in.
Yeah, a lot of flashes on the side of Grabber, and Bloodis gets launched into the pit as well, nice another victim, and now it's going to be a dual cap for the Crows now. They had the player advantage as well, 3 players up on the side of Feila. Oh, the collat as well from Bez, hitting Kaza and Bloodis in one, and now it's just going to be a dual cap on here. Still 3 players up, there's a mini sentry trying to deny stuff, but might not be enough though.
I think it's actually gonna be enough. If he doesn't run out of ammo here, that's so obnoxious to deal with. Yeah. And he's still getting that. Okay,
but Georgebaii is getting constant arrows though from Grabber, so he's able to stay alive. They're now going to have players to contest this right now, and ZNG goes down as well, so no sentry coming up. So I think the Crows should be looking to try and seal this off. Grabber's already taunting, which is pretty questionable. There's still players up.
He's healing with
this in. That is one with a fist still. It's just going to be a shooting gallery for Kronk now, and they're going to get that with a 7 minutes 29 time, which is...
Nah, that's Grabber's strats. Grabber 5000 IQ. When he taunts like that, he's actually one of the few medics that doesn't use Ubersaw. Like, he heals everyone with this taunt who's on that point. With
he uses that weapon. Oh yeah, the amputator. Yes, of course.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes.
That's really thinking the patch, was it? That's all the same.
Huh?
The amputator, that's still the same old amputator, right? It wasn't nerfed or anything in this recent patch.
Probably. I don't even know. But 7.5 minutes, that's a... I wouldn't say it's a lot of time considering this game though. Like you see, like we only have one one round really to make our judgments of, and kind of seeing that Feila wrote this. Like, a roll shouldn't be what is like typically happening, but seeing how kind of Lucrosa were indecisive, this is basically what punishes you always on steal, because it's not about making the optimal play, it's about making a decision or making a play and making it optimal. But yeah, 7.5 minutes, that definitely favors Feila right now as the gates open up.
Yeah, and immediately 2 players going down but early on, and Bez actually gets picked into as well. That's going to deny some time. Got a very picks coming out from this, which is a bit sloppy, but they got the time to play with. Agi's going to try and get in the sentry, but he dies, and then Kratos going to home wreck a December and stop it there. As the cap comes out now from the side of Feila, because they got a lot of time to play with, and they capped in half of this time, we have to remind you, in the first round, so they're just going to bide their time, try and get into position. And you've got Chupa actually on this A point here, getting some information. He's actually going to try and go for a stab. He's on the Eternal Reward as well, he's going to disguise and get a kill onto tea time. But he's going to throw that disguise as well, because he tried to go to stab and engineer, so he's probably going to come out and switch weapons, I'm sure. At least he wants to commit to this.
I still lost too many players. You're Edgy now, completely alone with the sap up in the skybox. Good. And he absolutely deserved that after that abysmal sap. Like, this is karma.
Jesus,
Oh,
that
but
was
grab us in the air.
That was a reaction shot and a half right there. Jesus. Bez, what a player, getting that headshot right there. And now, not really players up for Feila around. They're going to get their respawn waves, and the A cap's going to come out soon with that delay from the Spy, I think, of course. So they're going to be looking to do their normal B push right now, I think. Uber's on both teams right now. So the rest of Feila are trying to get in position right now. Leia's still in spawn. Billjack's going to come up pretty decent for Pyro and actually kill him. And then Joe's going to try and get some of the sentry and kills that. So I think you saw this last time. You did sort of stack break for the gun first, and then they played that with the Uber afterwards. And they're actually going to get the force into grab it here with the minigun spam of, I think it was Bloodis.
Yeah, this actually worked out. Now we have a showdown of a Pyro against the Wrangler Sentry gun that he doesn't stand any chance. He backs up though and he does live. Because the Wrangler is OP, I would say. But currently it's full Uber now to work with for the offensive team, as they're just working their way.
Billjack! The meat shots onto Layla while he's hiding in drop down. What a play from him. That's going to be a med down on the side of Feila. And they're going to rush him around here. What a nice play there from Billjack there. And a headshot coming out between that the side of Kaz. 2 headshots, he's farming on Kronk right now. Kronk down to like 10 HP right now. And it's going to be time to find the point though. So Feila should be looking to cap this comfortably. Gravis got to be careful not to like transfer here and just go back through spawn before they cap. And it looks like it's going to be like that. Looks like a lot of the Crozer players setting up in Beck right now.
If they are braver, they could have fought that. They all went very weak, but they kind of didn't have... They had the Jarati on Chinos on an unfortunate moment there, so he didn't want to get aggressive. But, yeah, as I was saying, just indecisiveness. I wouldn't advise if this actually cost them this round as well, but currently, I mean, 5 minutes, that's very well doable, but you have to be, you know, you have to make decisions.
Yeah. Interesting, we've got Chupa cloaked behind him. Still in the Eternal Reward as well. He's going to probably decloak onto Leda right now, coming into back. A lot of attention taken away as well. It would be a good time more than anything. A lot of the Crozer gamers have been caught up in this lobby area, and the Uber's going to come out onto E.
That's a questionable pop. I mean, Layla also, I think Layla went down to like 1 HP or something. Now she actually gets forced from something from behind. So, like the Uber was not that good because the coordination was off there on the offensive team. But the Pyro literally just gets blasted into the entire combo. Kills Nos, but that's kind of not enough. But there we go, Kaza peaks, and now the showdown of the heavy comes in, but he has the headshot advantage, and now they're just all getting scrambled out. It's looking really dire for Lucrosa right now, as they have to keep their players alive. Watch the here. That's a big grabber play. Ah, the brave there. That's the equalizer though. On to Joe.
So yeah, Feila looking to try and gain purchase on these points right now, trying a bit more attention to see, I believe, will get a split cap again on this side, on the side of Feila. And 3 players up on the side of the Lucrosa right now. It's a really good opportunity more than anything to get in position and then start capping and just deny the spawn waves.
And they're not getting the cap time. They have spawns in 1 minute, they should, 1 second, they should just not bleed here and they can actually do this. They have like one last push. The main issue is they have to push against an entire Uber on a superior position on this spawn.
But Bess is trying to get a shot in onto Layla right now. Layla's forced to flee. And in the meantime, a lot of stuff happening in the ring. The drop! The drop from Chupa.
What a god. Yeah, he absolutely wrecked. Like, Layla's still drop in the game. They have to deny Joe here. He goes down. This was probably the saving grace. Like, this was... I don't know, in a worse game, that would be like play of the game material, because Chupa just absolutely destroyed the combo there. Really good, gave him the chance. And now Prem is in with an incredible jump. Like, I love this jump, and he killed the Pyro as well. But now they actually bleed, and they're only 2 up somehow. But they do have a respawn wave now, so please stay alive and actually work off your pick classes. Menti gets piped there, but they're not getting cap time here, which is really good for Lucrosa.
Yeah, Feila seems to be more committed in trying to get in position for these strong E-holds rather than committing straight for the cap right now. But eventually he's going to have Menti out with the pain train trying to ×2 this, and he's eventually going to go down to the pipes of Knolls. Knolls getting those pipes into point right there. And
he has more HP than his Volvo right now, and there the Kaza just domes Wheeljack out of the air. Like, these actually plays are just going like all around there, and now they're actually on quick fix on the grabber. That's a typical grabber play as well, lol grabber, but they're committing to C here because they get bridges after that, so that makes it easier. They have the time to do this, George.
Yeah, it seems that way. I know Grabber's known for using unorthodox miniguns over his time. I remember, Vaccinator, of course, and everything like that. But yeah, they're going to be setting up in this lobby area. Layla actually pops somewhere. I don't know if that was a force again, but she's forced to use into lobby. It's going to come in late, and they still have a full quick fix chance to use. Grabber's going to pop that off right now onto his combo. Bez getting another headshot to T-time as well, as the ×2 tries to come out onto the Feila side, but eventually get forced off again. Super getting a nice backstab onto Jinxie as well. Might actually get on the Cypher as well. Nice. Actually, Ajay getting a good pick up the Bez. He's going to get called out by the medic though, as the rest of Feila try to commit to this cap time. Knoll's trying to make more space for his team to push out and try and contest this E point, but Bloodis is having none of it, and T-time as well, holding forwards with his flamethrower, trying to deny any sort of space. He's going to walk straight into Knoll's night now, but got to be careful not to die here. He needs that denial for this cap to work.
Definitely on the point as well. I like the protection from the combo. Cran denied is really good. There we go. Like, Cran protected Nos so well there, got so much damage on the point, and then, like, I really like this coordination right now, so they definitely deserve to win this, and they will probably win this, because Grabber has full quick fix, that is, but the main issue is Layla has full Uber, so that's really indecisive right now. They need to kill these players, because they have a lot of cap time. Oh, there we go, 4th drop of the game. Chupa as well, just carrying pick classes. What a surprise, but let's see if the combo actually can make something out of that, because they're just getting picked up. There's just too much damage going on the same players at the same time, and now, see, this is what costs you in the long run, because now they're actually going to use this. Like, pick classes just keep you in the game for that long. It's they just split all of their players like 3 times in a row, and in the 4th time now, like, it actually favors Feila, so that's a solid 6-0 sweep there.
Yeah, it was definitely potential for the Crows to take that round, but it just overcommitted in the end. I mean, yes, you saw Chupa get those mech picks and everything, but it didn't matter when there was like 3 gamers up on your team on defense, and eventually it's going to cost the Crows at that round, and they're going to be coming away from this with nothing. Well, yeah. Feila get the full 6 points.
Big surprise, pick classes, carrying as always, and the rest of the team. It's just, I don't know, you do a good plan, then you look at your team and it's completely dead, and you just ask yourself, why am I even doing this? We can look at the logs again, as we see, again, Nos and Wheeljack actually top fragging, interestingly, but after that, interestingly enough, comes Edgy. I think we didn't point him out so much. I think he just denied Kaza, oh no, not Kaza, that is. Who's that best on the Lucrosa team with 5 sniper picks right there, but I don't actually want to get thwarted into log analyzing, so you can do that. Tell us how they lost because of that, because of a 1 or 2 on different players.
Yes, I think I first point out, I mean, despite Feila obviously winning this map, Feila dropped 4 times during that round.
I'm so
happy got 4 charges out.
I'm so happy that old Layla is back. That's always my favorite thing. We can revive this meme right now, that whenever Layla is like 40%, you just write 60% until next drop in chat. I love that in Twitch chat. That's the old meme. You have to revive that, but yeah.
But yeah, I think Feila played more of the brain game in this match. Like, had more positional advantage compared to the Crows. The Crows tried to reply with some frags, but it just cost them in the end. Like, Feila had more positional game onto the team, and just generally denied risk at choke points in the end, as and point itself, and hence they managed to make away with both rounds.
Yeah, as we just pointed out, literally the entire game, they're just bleeding too much. They were not making decisions. That's what Feila did. Maybe they were not making the optimal decisions, but in the end it worked out because they committed to something. And the last round, like the second round, was looking way closer, but as we were saying the entire time, the main thing is they were just bleeding 4 to 5 players on defensive kind of point of view too much, and that's always what favors the offending team, because you have a very long respawn on the defending team. So that's basically a 6-0. It kind of hurts me. I have to figure out when the roster lock is so I can still switch teams for my Prem placement. No, never mind. But yeah, that's settling in this kind of game with the first map. We also have a second game coming up, but because these people actually played so quickly and so fast, we can't actually transition into the next game just now, and we have to. We are pleased to listen to amazing music, as George will stick by for the next game, but you will see I will switch not only voice but also personality and age, and you will be surprised by the next one coming up. Any last words for this first game to say, George?
Just be sure to stick around when the time comes. I'll be with big boy CJ, and yeah.
Thanks for the spoiler.
It said on the map trade.